Yesterday, I ran the Barrier Breaker workshop. It was designed to help people just like you create more money, wealth, and abundance in their lives by helping them change their frequency. Now, you may be running into some of the exact problems the attendees did. In this recap, I'm going to share some of the frequency shifting insights I shared with them to help you earn more money in 2025. In this first clip, the attendee had a problem with overthinking and fear, which was making him anxious and stopping him from taking action towards his goals at all. And despite what a lot of the spiritual community and the manifestation community wants to tell you, you actually do need to take action to change your life and change your income. So he felt like his body and mind would just go haywire and he would do everything but the correct actions. He wanted to shift his fear and limiting beliefs so he could move from reflection to action. So check this out. Sometimes the frequency wants to hold on. Courage, okay? Fear and courage. Now, what you have to understand is the law of polarity. Polarity. Positive, negative. What you need to understand in the law of polarity is that everything has, on the physical plane and the mental plane and the spiritual plane, has its polarity. So you got hot and cold, you got light and dark, you got soft and hard, right? This is very easy to understand. But what you have to understand is that the furthest points of these things are always going to be the same thing. So if you have the maximum level of light, you cannot see. If you have the maximum level of darkness, you cannot see. They're the same things. What separates them? It's just the rate of energy between them. And they have a shared energy. It is just a spectrum. So fear and courage, the energy in between them is faith. Okay? Faith. Faith translates to fides in Latin, right? That's originally what it comes from, and it means confidence. So, really, what's happening here between faith, between fear and courage is confidence. All right. Alvin, you have tremendous amounts of confidence. Okay, I don't even know you. Why can I say that you have tremendous amounts of confidence? Tons of confidence. Because you submitted a question to me that told me you have fear and that you're thinking about things all the time and that you're stuck in reflection mode. So you are incredibly confident on this side of the spectrum right now. You understand? High levels of confidence on this side of the spectrum. Now, what you need to understand, it is the same energy of confidence that will move you to courage. It's the same energy of confidence, of faith. Right now you have faith and fear, but you will have faith and courage. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Because you're saying you have problems taking action, you get stuck in your head, right? You have problems taking action. So here's the thing. Actually, before I draw this chart, here's the thing. I love this question, man. So fear has two results. It has freeze, flight, or fight, actually, right? Fight. So fear has three results. Right now, this is happening, and a little bit of this, not much of this. What you got to understand about an emotion, fear in this case, is that fear is an energy. Fear is an emotion, energy in motion. Regardless of what you feel, right? Emotions are a gift because emotions are infinite levels of energy. This is what makes us unique as humans because we have emotions. We can tap into emotions and get a source of energy that other species cannot get. So if I'm on the treadmill running, right? Running like crazy, and I'm like, man, this is 10 minutes in and I want to run for 20 minutes and I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to have to tap into my emotions to do that. And sometimes it's not positive ones. It's not like, oh, I got 10 more minutes on this. It's only 10 more minutes. No, sometimes I got to go remember all the people that said bad stuff to me. And I got to, remind myself of like, I don't want to be unhealthy, et cetera, et cetera. A big problem that happens in the spiritual space is they tell you to only think positively. Only positive thoughts, only gratitude, blah, blah, blah. This is not realistic because negative thoughts are going to creep in sometimes. So, and negative emotions are going to creep in sometimes. Regardless of what you feel, you need to use it. So how do you do this? Fear, right? Like I said, it can make you freeze, flight, fight. These two are actions. These two are actions. If your house was on fire, you would run out or you would try and use some water and deal with it. You would take action based off of fear. Interesting, right? Based off of fear, you would take action. Why? Because it's the same energy. You would have the courage to run out of the house. You would have the courage to put out the fire, right? Because it's the same energy, just directed in a different way. So let me tell you something now. This is something I teach you guys in the next realm, and you're getting it now, right? So fear, courage. This is something I call dark fuel, okay? And a lot of therapists and stuff will tell you not to do this. But check this. Once again, I said any emotion is a gift. Any emotion is energy. So you can think about, okay, what do I fear happening? Okay, what do I fear happening? Let's say you want to get fit, right? You fear sickness. So the courageous thing would be to get fit, right? You fear poverty. So the courageous thing would be to get rich. You fear, I don't know, talking to a girl, socializing or something. The courageous thing would be to talk. This energy of fear, if you think about what you don't want, it can move you to what you do want. If you think about what you don't want, it can move you to what you do want, because fear is actually a very powerful motivator. It can move you to what you do want. And what happens? I don't want to get sick, so I work out, right? I don't want poverty, so I work on having a business. The fear is pushing me to the courage side. It's not courage pushing me there. It's the fear pushing me to the courage side. You understand? So, we're not done. I hope you're taking notes or soaking this in. Watch the replay. Okay? Watch the replay. It is the fear pushing you to the courage side. All right? And this happens many, many times in life for many, many things. So, what I want you to understand is that you're letting the fear live in your head. Okay? So imagine this is your mind. Imagine this is your mind. You're letting the fear live in your head. You only have so much mental bandwidth. Mental bandwidth is necessary to take action. All right? So if you've eaten up your mental bandwidth, you will not act. So what happens, you wake up in the day, you use up some mental bandwidth. You think about what you should do, you're afraid to do it, you're not doing it, you're thinking, it's eating up your mental bandwidth. Oh, I have this other thing to do today, it's eating up my mental bandwidth. Oh, I want to do this, no, I'm not doing it, I'm afraid, no. And it's eating up all of your mental bandwidth. So then you simply won't take action because you no longer have the mental bandwidth to do it. So what you actually need to do is, I don't know what is that. Turn your fear into creation. What do I mean by this? When you are creating something, right? This could be simply writing out your thoughts. That's creative writing. This could be drawing a picture. This could be recording a YouTube video. When you are creating something, okay, it uses the right side of your brain. The left side of your mind deals in this fear that you are perceiving. You're perceiving it because it could just as well be courage. You're perceiving this fear. The left side deals with that. When you start creating things, the right side of your mind triggers up and it can't sense fear. If I told you to draw a stick person right now, you wouldn't be in a level of fear, right? If I told you to write out your thoughts, you wouldn't be in a level of fear. And what's great about this, especially writing out your thoughts, is it starts to clear out your mental bandwidth. it starts to give it back to you, right? Get some of it back. And that way, you actually have the mental bandwidth to take action. You know what I'm saying? You have the mental bandwidth to take action. When you are creating something, it frees up your mental bandwidth. So a lot of what I teach a lot of people is like, for instance, tasks that they have to do in a day eat up a lot of mental bandwidth, right? So I tell them to use this app called Todoist, Todoist, and just put all your tasks in there. It will literally organize it for you. You won't have to think about it. You click it open for the day. It is taken out of your head. Man, there's so much elements of your question, bro. Like, I'm going off, man. Like, this is like I said, watch it back. There's another thing I want to tell you about this because there's so much involved in this. So, spiritual, mental, physical. When you have an emotion of fear, it's living here in the mental plane, right? You can either cast it here, and that's what people say, give it to God. People pray to God and pray and et cetera, and they cast, and I think the Bible says, lay your worries upon him or something along those lines, which is simply casting those thoughts to the spiritual plane and releasing them. Or you cast them down to the physical plane, and that's creating something. Or what some people do, and you'll see this in like African tribes or ancient spirituality and stuff like this, is they will charge an object or something, right? With good energy or quote unquote bad energy, right? They will charge something. So I went to Catholic school, right? Catholic school, they give you the body and blood of Christ. They give you communion. This is a piece of bread, but they are using mental power and mental prowess to make you to cast that energy into the physical realm. That's what they're doing. So you can do this with your fear, and you will release it, and you will actually be taking action on something, right? If you turn this fear into creativity. Because once again, it's the same energy. Fear, courage. All it is confidence. And like I said, my friend, you have immense amounts of confidence. You just got to push it in the right direction. I hope that was helpful. Have you ever had too much going on? You have a job, but you want to build a business. You want that business to be online so you can have location freedom. You get caught up with all sorts of different stuff you could sell, from courses to ebooks to coaching to clothing, everything, and you don't know what to do. This essentially makes you get stuck with analysis paralysis. And this was happening to one of our attendees, and here's how we dealt with it. Check it out.
I've got a question around split focus. So right now, got a bunch of different things that we, like products or offers that we could be focusing on, and they all have impact and importance in their own right. But how important is it to focus on the one main thing that's going to bring ROI, or should we be as diverse as possible in order to, the people that we already have, we can attract them on a larger sort of scale, rather than sort of focusing on one specific area and just targeting them that way?
There's two elements here. One is which one is making you money. So hold on. One, which makes the money. My gosh, what a terrible money sign. It's okay. We have money in our bank accounts. We don't gotta write it down. Which makes the money, which is aligned. Which one's more aligned with your values? Okay. So two things. Which offer is making you guys the most amount of money, and an offer is multiple things. You could be offering your time at a job or a sales job or whatever. That's an offer, right? Or an offer that you're creating and putting into the market. Which one's making the most money? Now, if this is aligned with you, keep pushing that, right? Keep pushing that. If not, and you need to do something that's more aligned with your values, if you do the value finder tool, right, you'll know your top 3 values. If this isn't aligned with your values, you have to look at it as on the way. You have to look at it as on the way instead of in the way. This happens to a lot of people when they work a 9-to-5 job and they want to maneuver into something else, and they start moving all these products and start thinking about all these things they could do because they just so badly do no longer want to work in what they're working in. You need to look at this as something that is on the way instead of in the way. This is an investor for whatever it is you want to do, which is more aligned here, right? So that's one element. The other element is, do you have shiny object syndrome, right? Shiny object syndrome. Do you have shiny object syndrome? Do you see this person does this, it works. This person does this, it works. This person does this, it works. This will mess you up. You will scatter yourself a whole bunch. It is better to have one offer that you push and you run traffic to it and you talk about that and you promote that than to have 6 different offers that you have to split your attention on, that you have to build other funnels for, that you have to do all this other stuff for. Because, once again, physical, mental, spiritual. All right. The all is up here. The God energy is at the top up here, right? As you can see, it is a point. It is the simplest point of the pyramid. So what does that mean? The more simple you make something, the more you are acting within the God energy. Simplicity is what causes people to buy. Simplicity is what causes things to actually work. So if you look at Amazon, right? Jeff Bezos sold books online. That is what he did. That is what Amazon does. We sell books online. That's it. Then, as they made more and more money, they came up with more offers. Now Jeff Bezos sells everything. The problem is people try to sell everything down here instead of operating from up here. One simple thing. One thing, right? So don't get shiny object syndrome. And the one thing you want to pick is whatever is aligned here. Whatever is most aligned here. That's what you want to do. So you got to know your values to do that. You got to do the value finder tool to do that, to understand that. That's what you want to do. Because if it's aligned with your values, you'll be able to take the time to do it. You'll be able to go through the hardships. You will be inspired. You will understand that you are on the right path. It will be purpose driven. When you're scattered doing all this type of stuff, it demonstrates a confusion of purpose and a confusion of values. That's really all it is. You're grasping at what could possibly work. You can still experiment, but with one offer. Okay? So what do I mean by this? Let's say you have the Forge community, right? It's like that, right? You have the Forge community. You're going to be experimenting constantly with the Forge, okay? But it's the same offer. So you'll have, let's say you're experimenting with price, right? There's something people got to experiment with. It's gonna get pushed up, it's gonna get pushed down, and you're gonna determine what works, right? That's an experimentation. This is not shiny object syndrome. This is iteration. And we have a module about that in the next realm. And it's also in the Cosmic Cash mainframe, iteration, right? This is iteration. You're going to experiment with the actual inclusions. What do people actually get, right? You're going to experiment with the type of content you make, right? You're going to experiment and iterate the your sales page, right? You're going to constantly be tweaking and changing things. Tweak, test, repeat, right? So this is where you can get to do your whole, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do this. Relegate it to one offer. right? Relegate to one offer. It's going to do way, way better for you, right? So even with this workshop, right? I wanted to run this because I wanted to do something that people could afford and that I could assist people with and, demonstrate real expertise and help people, right? That's why I did it. But in 100% honesty, it takes away from the attention of my main offer, the next realm, right? I did this knowingly. So normally what you want to do is just focus on the one thing. Focus on the one thing. Does that help, Camel? Or am I, waffling too much, as you guys say in Australia?
No, that's perfect. So yeah, focus, because I feel like, yeah, we've like one of the things that we do have as well is the podcast, which
Hmm.
podcast doesn't take much time from us, and there's no like offer there. It's simply just trying to attract more people.
Yeah.
But I feel like we need to, which sort of just funnels everyone into the event, the free events that we run.
Hmm.
So I feel like with this, we need to almost like really reduce how much time we're spending on the private community offer and just focus on growing the summit to be as large as possible, improve that sales page, improve all of our content there. We could still do the podcast, just don't focus on growing that. Focus on just having the credibility there from doing, X amount of podcast
Yep.
episodes,
Yep.
which all then funnels back into the summit. And then once we have the summit or, the free events up and running, then from there, we can then start making decisions on where we want to funnel, what sort of offers we want to have off
Hmm.
the back of that.
So here's the thing, right? Once you have the offer solidified, all you're focusing on is masculine projection. So, projection. What do I mean by this? Right? All you're focusing on. So, once you have the offer solidified, right? You're like, okay, we're going to run these free events, the free events. Okay, so event, and then that's going to go into the forge eventually, right? So, once you have the offer solidified, all you're focusing on is projecting a message into the world, which is your podcast, right? Traffic, 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 traffic. It give it time. It can take some time, right? There are anomalies that just pop off out of nowhere, right? Which happens. But remember the law of rhythm. The law of rhythm. As quick as something moves big is as quick as it will move back. All right. You see this in celebrity culture and all this stuff all the time. As quick as something rises is as quick as it will swing down. As quick as they build you up is as quick as they will crush you. So sometimes the slower way is the best way because you will not deal with such massive rhythm. You will not deal with such massive, whoa, I got 500,000 subscribers in 1 month. And then it always happens. You just fall off. People are like, what happened to this person? Right? So you build it over time, right? And people will come in. You'll be surprised, especially if it's targeted to the right people. It's targeted to the right people. You're speaking about the right things. You're talking to the right people on the podcast. Boom, right? You're dealing with people. Now, I'm not saying that your podcast isn't going to pop off super quick. It may. If it does, give me a call because I'll help you deal with the swing of rhythm. Okay, I'll help you deal with the swing of rhythm because it can get very tricky, and the key is to prepare for it prior and to not get too excited, to be measured, right? To be a measured individual. But once you have this offer locked in, man, once this is locked in, you're just gonna push traffic. This is me right now. This is why I'll come out with 3 YouTube videos a week because even if it's little, bit by bit, even if I put out one video, get 80 new subscribers, this is good. This is 80 new people I have the potential to nurture over time, and it grows, it grows, it grows. You play the long game because when you're changing your vibration, what's the rush? Especially if you are in alignment with your values. So I hope that helps out, Camel. If anything, to hit me up in the next room. I can help you
Yeah.
with that. Sometimes in life, you just need to make a decision. The word decide comes from the Latin word decidere, which means to cut away. When you decide, you cut away the other options and find the path for you. With the last clip I'm going to share, we work with someone who had a decision to make in terms of a career path, and he was wondering what choice to make. But sometimes a choice isn't this or that. Sometimes it's this and that. Let's get into it. First of all, moving to the Dominican is going to be a good thing. Well, you're going to the Dominican for a month, but I'm not sure if you're gonna like set up a permanent long-term stay there. But you'll enjoy it. I like the Dominican. It is nice. So with remote work, basically you you have the two options that you presented already, right? Which means you already have an idea in terms of direction of what you want to do, and you can do both. I think that you should do high ticket sales. I think you should do that. The reason being, it's going to teach you a lot of skills for your own offer. I come from a
Mhm.
sales background. I used to have to sell knives door to door, Cutco, $1,000 knife set, which is a high ticket offer for knives. It taught me so many skills. It was unbelievable. You're gonna get a backdoor glimpse into. Oh, sorry, this is kind of thinging. You're gonna get a backdoor glimpse into how a lot of these higher ticket businesses run, and then you're gonna know how to do it for yourself, right? In terms of, if you want to sell fitness offer, if you want to sell a life coach offer, which is great because Oso obviously has experience with that through his mom, right? You could
Yeah,
sell a
I'm
life
also
coach.
in the mentorship too,
Hmm.
with her.
Perfect. Perfect. So, but I do think you should take the sales job. One, because it's going to import some money into your pocket while you're out there. I would also suggest if you have the ability to live in cheaper places, do that while you're doing remote work because your living expenses might be 3,000, but if you're in Mexico or Dominican, it's going to be 1,000, bro.
Mhm.
Like it's going to be 1,000, 2,000. Like
Me and my partner got an
it's,
Airbnb for 1,200 bucks for the
yeah,
month, and
yeah,
like minutes from the beach. So
yeah. Exactly. I've spent time in the Dominican. I spent time in Mexico. All of that. So in terms of frequency and esoteric type of things, I think knowing you, right? I think you've got that element together. I think with you, it's just going to be making the decision. Decide to do the sales job. Decide to build the offer. Decide to build the. It can be life coaching. It can be fitness. I think you will do a fantastic job if you combine these things.
Mhm.
If you combine fitness, which is tangible, right? Fitness is a tangible offer. Sorry about my writing, but my mind moves faster than my hands. So,
Oh, dude.
so fitness is a tangible offer. People buy tangible things. If you can help someone lose 10 kilograms in however much months in I don't know how much that takes. 3 months, let's say. 90 days. You can help somebody lose that weight in 30 days or change their body in 30 days. That's a tangible offer and people will pay for that. It's not hard to sell. You have the results. You're a fit guy. You look good. You'll be out in the Dominican, so the lifestyle will look nice. All of that. But here's the additional thing, and this is what allows you to keep clients and allows you to get a bunch of referrals. You're going to implement your life coaching element into the fitness. So it's not just going to be fitness. They're going to come in thinking they're losing 10 kilograms, but they're going to get so much more game. You're going to change the way they think. You're going to transform their mind. You're going to teach them things about themselves that they did not know simply through losing some weight. That is really where the transformation happens. That is really what keeps people around. That is really what makes a fantastic offer. Because at the end of the day, if you have an offer, you are selling a transformation. You are selling a transformation in somebody else's frequency because they must change as a person in order to lose that 10 kilograms. If you have all of these life coaching skills, which you are now certified for, you amplify your ability to make this person get this result because you will change their mind.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? So, my thing for that, take the sales job. You're going to learn a shit ton. It's going to make you more confident in selling your own offer for a high ticket price. And I can help you with that too. And combine these things. This gives you a unique edge in the marketplace. It gives you a unique edge in the marketplace. There are a lot of guys who are fitness coaches, and that's all they do. Fitness.
Mhm.
That's what they do. They don't have any other element. You can say you are a certified life coach. That matters. credibility, accolades, as much as people don't think they matter, they do matter. Who are some of the biggest people online? Certified doctor, certified this, certified that. All the people on Diary of a CEO are certified this and certified that, right? It gives you a unique edge in the market. Plus, it fits with who you are, bro. You're a
Gotta be
vibe.
authentic.
Yeah, you're a vibey spiritual guy. It fits with who you are.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I think like in terms of the esoteric and the occult knowledge that I've gained too over the years, like you said, I need it has to be also tangible. It has to complement that, and I can kind of, you know, spread little breadcrumbs throughout of those other elements.
mhm. Because what you got to remember is physical plane, right? Okay, so we got, right, we got spiritual, mental, physical. Now, the masses are down here, okay? A medium amount of people is around here. Most people don't operate around here in the spiritual realm, right? So, what you have to do is actually take the concepts from up here and sell them down here. You need to give people something in the physical realm that they can tangibly grab. When you think of offers, it needs to be like, can I drop this on my foot? Yeah, losing 10 kilograms, that's something that's something tangible. That's something I can drop on my foot. But when they get in, you give them all of this. You move them up spiritually, right? You move them up spiritually. That is what allows the offer to have impact. You're not going to sell this element up here. That's just going to be in your persona. That's just going to be in who you are. But you do need to sell the element down here. People are in pain. If someone's in pain, they want Tylenol. They want Advil. They want this particular thing. They don't want you to tell them, hey, you need to change your diet and you need to sleep and you need to not do this particular exercise, which is injuring you. They don't want to hear it. They want to hear, I need to lose 10 kilograms and I need to lose it in 90 days. Boom. Then you push them up to everything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like the evolution in all planes. That's kind of how I see it. Because
Yep.
I mean, I don't want someone to follow me. I don't want someone to worship me. I want to be a guide for people as I've had other guides, in my own life and share from my own experiences and give people the tools to achieve whatever result they desire in their life. It's really
Guide is a
fulfilling,
very
right?
important word. Guide is
Yeah.
a very important word. I'm glad you said that. And we're gonna run to the next question soon, but I'm very glad you said this word guide. Guide is very important. You are not the hero in the story for your clients. Your clients are the hero, right? Right? So I don't know why I put this equal sign there. I'm so used to writing equal signs because everything is connected. Spiritual, mental, physical is all connected. But guide is very important. Your client is the hero. Your client is on a hero's journey. You are Yoda. You are Gandalf. You are the guide. That is what you are. Don't ever try to position yourself as the hero, which you're not doing. You already said, right? Don't position yourself as the hero because they want to be the hero. That's what it is. But yes, my friend, I'm looking forward to that. Let me know how the Dominican goes. I do think you should do the high ticket sales, learn
Yeah.
from it, import it in here. You're going to do very well, my friend. Very, very well. So there's a little glimpse into the workshop we had. Hope it was helpful. Hope there were some insights there for you. And if you remember what I told the second attendee about values, you can learn exactly what your values are for free with my free value finder tool in the description below. Happy holidays. Peace.